Hello, and welcome to or back to my channel. I'm Kit, your friendly feminist cat lady spinster, and today we're going to talk about Rachel Hollis. So this is a bit of a departure from my usual content, but I recently watched one of Kia's World's videos on the subject, and that led me down a path which left me with a few things that I wanted to say. So for anyone who doesn't know who Rachel Hollis is, she is an American author, motivational speaker, and blogger. She's also the author of 3 self-help books, 2 of which I read and enjoyed. Last spring, she posted something on her social media that got her in some trouble. She did delete it, but unluckily for Rachel, the internet is forever, so get ready to be horrified.
Doing a live stream, and I mentioned that there's a sweet woman who comes to my house twice a week and cleans. She's my house cleaner. She cleans the toilets. Someone commented and said, "You are privileged AF." And I was like, you're right. I'm super freaking privileged, but also I worked my ass off to have the money to have someone come twice a week and clean my toilets. And I told her that. And then she said, "Well, you're unrelatable." What is it about me that made you think I want to be relatable? No, sis, literally everything I do in my life is to live a life that most people can't relate to. Most people won't work this hard. Most people won't get up at 4 a.m. Most people won't fail publicly again and again just to reach the top of the mountain. Literally every woman I admire in history was unrelatable. If my life is relatable to most people, I'm doing it wrong.
And that got quite a backlash, not just because of the scary ranting, but because of the women listed in the description that people thought she was trying to compare herself to. But you know, Rachel has no regrets.
I know this sounds like BS, but I wouldn't take it back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take the experience back.
Right. So this next bit also caught my attention.
I think too, it really severed whatever emotional connection I had with a social media brand, like with my brand on social media.
Okay. So she doesn't want to be relatable. In fact, she strives not to be relatable. And she's grateful for the experience because it helps sever whatever emotional connection she had to her brand on social media. But then I watched episode 6 of Rach Talk, and I wonder if any of that is true.
Hey guys, welcome to Rach Talk, my weekly show where I hang out at home and talk about anything and everything. Today we are chatting through what are we even talking about? Okay.
You see, she's quirky, just like you.
Today we are talking about the 1-year anniversary of my first kiss with Boo. I'm telling you all about these pins. We're remembering Total Request Live. Can we get a minute for Carson Daly? And oh my gosh, Ford has had his first heartbreak.
Why are you going to tell the entire internet and have it recorded and available forever so that when he's older he can look back and see that his mom talked about this online? Why would you put this on the internet? Why is your son's first heartbreak fodder for your business?
Here we are, back together again, back at mi casa, es su casa. I don't know where Jeffrey is, but I'm sure he'll be around any minute to come cause trouble. Where is he? He didn't run away. Did you let him run away, Jack?
Not this time.
Okay, great. No, I'm sure he's probably taking a nap. He's got a real busy schedule. It is a glorious day in Austin, Texas.
And now, here's your local on the 8s.
The high today is sunny and 72. All right? That is spectacular. Tomorrow, we've got a 100% chance of rain with a high of 55.
Can anyone please tell me why Rachel is reporting her local weather? Because I really don't get it. Today in Seattle, it's 44 degrees. Feels like 38 degrees. It is currently cloudy. Oh, well, see, even the cat got bored.
Okay? Texas is crazy. It's crazy, and I made a really big rookie mistake in that I thought, Jack, that spring was here. I have a courtyard, which makes me sound like I'm the Queen of England. I'm not. I just have this like square in front of my front door. And that square, when I moved into this house, was gorgeous. Like seasonal, tropical, local. What's it called when it's like you're in the area and the plants are in the area? Indigenous? Seasonal? Local? Some kind of grasses that are meant to be on this land. Okay, it was beautiful. Had a lemon tree, you guys. I had a lemon tree, big and bountiful. Did you ever get lemons from the lemon tree, Jack? You missed out, bro. Then winter of 2021, you may or may not recall, we had something in Austin, Texas called Snowmageddon.
Storm stories tonight at 8 on the Weather Channel.
So I'm guessing that Jack is the man that's filming, and I'm thinking he also might be her editor.
Which was this freak winter storm. We were trapped in the house for like 10 days. We lost water and power. It was a whole thing. Did you lost water and power for how long? 5 days. It was a catastrophe. One of the losses of that experience was the lemon tree, and most of what was growing in front of my front door. So then, nature, she knows what she's about. I did lose a lot of plants and a lot of trees, but the courtyard sort of came back. It found its way. Some of those, whatever they're called, grasses came back. They started to flourish again. It didn't look like its former glory, but it looked pretty good. Then this year, we had another freeze. And that was when all of the plants in my courtyard said, life's too hard, okay? Peace, I'm out. I can't be here, I can't do this. I don't want any part of it. And for a very long time, the front yard has looked rough. It's looked roof. It's embarrassing. So Boo and I decided.
So given that Rachel has such a large following, I can totally understand her or her boyfriend, or both of them, not being comfortable using his real name. But why not just make up a pseudonym for him instead of calling him Boo?
Decided that we would start to, clean her up, get her going, plant some new things. And we had, we'd gone through the freeze, and it was like, we were averaging what? Like 70s, high 60s every day for like days and days and days. We say spring has sprung. We're here for it. We're little farmer girl and boy out in the front yard planning things out. No sooner did we plan out this front situation. And we didn't just plant the grasses, y'all. We invested in some trees. You know how much a tree costs? A baby tree this tall, you know how much a baby tree costs? As much as Jeffrey's dental work.
So according to homefortheharvest.com, a fully grown tree generally costs between $100 and $500. Now, I don't know how much dental work costs for a dog, but I know how much mine cost, so either they got a really great deal on that dental work or they hired out their landscaping, which would be weird because she definitely made it sound as though they were the ones out in the yard planting the grasses and the trees.
Okay, it's expensive. Expensive trees. We bought them, we planted them, we're so proud.
Well, if you're buying trees in bulk, that can be expensive, but she made it sound like her courtyard was pretty small. So how many trees did you buy?
He's like, man, this relationship's for real. We're planting trees. 2 days later, 25 degrees at night. You want to know why there's sheets and burlap all over this courtyard, Jack? It's because Boo, like a terrified mother, bundles all of his trees, all of his plants, even the low ones that probably shouldn't be affected, covered everything in the courtyard.
So I'm not much of a gardener, but it's my understanding that that's pretty normal if you don't want your plants to be damaged during cold weather. And also, if it was so expensive, wouldn't you want them to be protected from the cold?
And it's supposed to freeze again tonight and tomorrow. Don't worry, it'll all be bundled up again, okay? He releases them during the day so that the sun can touch their leaves, bundles them up at night. He watched YouTube videos, he Googled it. It was very upsetting for him. For me, I'm like, they'll be fine. But if we lose this little Japanese maple over here that costs more than a used Miata, the place will not take it back. They had a big sign that was like, we are not responsible if you kill this tree.
This is kind of funny because she's talking about how expensive these plants were, but in her interview with the Skinny Confidential, she was also talking about how much money she makes. So, I mean, you can still care about how much things cost, but this just seems to me like an attempt to be relatable to people who do have to care about how much things cost and do have to worry about, well, I mean, she's not really worried about damaging her plants for some reason. I don't understand why, but if they cost that much, even if you could afford it, after you put all that work in, wouldn't you want to make sure they're protected from the cold so you don't have to do that all over again? Even if you could afford the cost,
That's where we're starting. But what I'm saying to you is before it gets cold again, it's a beautiful day. And that matters because it is my anniversary. It is my 1 year anniversary. And I know what you're saying. Rach, didn't you recently do an episode where you said it was the 1 year anniversary? Yes. But that was the 1 year anniversary of the first time I text him. Okay? Today, Jack, is the 1 year anniversary of the first time we kissed.
I haven't cringed this hard in a long time.
And I think I've told you this story. I think I talked about it last season of Rach Talk, but...
So the you in this situation is actually her audience, not the poor man that is filming her.
I'm just going to paint a picture for you. Those of you who are new or maybe need to hear the story again. When I didn't kiss Boo. He kissed me.
Nice girls don't kiss boys.
The first time we kissed 1 year ago today, he was the second man in my entire life I ever kissed. okay? At the time, I was 38 years old. It was almost like the movie Never Been Kissed, but I had been kissed. It was like slightly been kissed, but only by one person. Okay, I'll give you the whole story because you asked. I'll give you the whole story. So
I know I can't trust my own judgment on this because I know I'm not a very romantic person, but please let me know in the comments if, as an adult, you celebrated the anniversary of your first kiss.
remember how I told you guys last week that we played the question game? Remember the question game, Jack? So that was like our thing for a while. Like we'd go, whatever, and it was the first time he ever came to my house. Now, again, in this scenario, we are friends. Now, I know that I have a crush on him, but I don't know how he feels about me. And I also have no, what's the word? Indigenous grasses. I didn't have any, not moves. I didn't, the cool kids, would know. I feel like there are people who would know, oh, this person's into me. I don't have those skills. I felt like I was in third grade. I was like, should I walk up and, punch him in the arm and then run away? And that's how he'll know. Side note, Ford Hollis told me that he ran into, did I tell you about his ex-girlfriend? Did I tell you this story? I really want to tell this story. But I feel like I shouldn't out him. One of my children, his name is Schmord. It rhymes with Schmord Hollis. Schmord Schmallis.
There is just something really unsettling about watching an adult act this way. Of course, I also don't think it's real, which kind of makes it a little better, and yet not really.
He's 9. I don't know how this could get back to him.
Does she think 9-year-olds don't know how to access the internet? Even if she doesn't let her son online, that doesn't mean his classmates all have that same rule. And the internet is forever. You would think after that debacle last year, she would know that. And also she has over 100,000 subscribers. So,
Came home 6 weeks ago. Elated, joyful, just ready to burst. And Ford is my most...
I really don't understand why they bothered beeping out his name when she just goes ahead and says it a few seconds later. Is this what daytime TV used to be? But I'm pretty sure they also didn't talk about their children on daytime TV because that wouldn't be very interesting. This is what happens when you don't have a point to your video. But I'm just going to go ahead and cut the rest of the story because I don't really find a 9-year-old's heartbreak funny. And she also shares a video of him from when he was 3 that I was going to say has no purpose to the story, but there actually isn't really a story here, so...
And I just remembered, man, we are so dumb when we are in elementary school. We have no idea how to act around someone that we're attracted to, and that was me. A year ago today, I invite Boothing over to the house, and I don't know how this is all going to work out because it's the first time he's been here, and it's just a friend. And just so you know, because it was a friend and because I was bound and determined to just be myself, I was wearing my holy sweatpants, which if you have been with me for long, you know my favorite pair of sweatpants. They have a bunch of holes in them. They're 10 years old. I don't care. They look like garbage. This is not oh, I'm a Kardashian. I look cute in sweatpants. No.
Well, congratulations, Rachel. You sound totally unrelatable while trying to be relatable. So I think that means you've made it.
This is dumpster pants that I wear around the house. So I'm wearing dumpster pants, socks, Birkenstocks, an oversized t-shirt, and a hoodie. Because he's just coming over to hang out and have a drink and whatever. So... we're sitting on the sofa. I'm on one sofa. He's on the other. We're doing the question game. And I don't know where I got the courage to just decide that I was going to at least make it clear. I thought I might shoot my shot and absolutely crash and burn, but I will not miss out because I didn't have the courage to just make it clear to this person that I liked him.
Rejection sucks no matter how old you are. So it's really great that Rachel had the bravery to shoot her shot, as she says. And it's great that it worked out for her. But the fact that she's retelling this like a 15-year-old about to go on her first ever date with a boy is unsettling and really weird. And I also think she's doing this for the benefit of the cameras, which somehow doesn't make it any better, but it does make me wonder how stupid she thinks people are.
So one of the questions was there was some kind of setup. It was what's something you haven't done in a really long time that you hope to do this year? And I was make out with someone. Because at that point, I had not touched another living soul in a romantic manner in a very long time. And I want someone to pet my hair and give me a hug and tell me I'm pretty. And so I was just hoping that within the next year, that is something that would happen. So that was the answer to the question. I was like, I hope that I'm gonna make out with someone, haha. And he kind of like looked at me a little bit, but I was like, I don't know what that look means. We're fine. It's fine. But I knew that like it was still too subtle, okay? Because in that scenario, it could be anybody. So then big ups to whatever spirit guide made this happen, because later on, one of the questions is, what's something I can help you with? And your girl, like stone cold, like Ford's ex-girlfriend, all the courage in the world. I was like, well, I did say that I really want to make out with someone this year. Oh, mic drop. Like straight face too. And I said it like I was pretty proud of myself. I didn't go like, I didn't do any of that. And he looked at me. He was like it was like a light bulb. He was like, oh, like that wasn't good. However he did it was like sexy and in an English accent. And he was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh my God. So the rest of the night, I'm freaking out. I'm like, what's gonna happen? I don't even know. We're hanging out. I feel like the ball is in his court. I have hit the ball across the net. It's in his court. And I go into the kitchen to get something. This is like at the end of the night because he's like, oh, I'm gonna go. I'm going to the kitchen to get something. I mean, even talking about it's making my heart pound. And I look and he's standing on the front porch. And I'm like, it's gonna happen. Okay, so he's out there. He's leaving it open. If I walk out on that porch, we're kissing. And if I stay in here and be a weenie, we're not kissing. So I was like, oh my God, okay, we're fine. We're gonna go out there. And it was like the most beautiful, like the breeze was blowing and it was warm and the sun wasn't shining, it was nighttime, the stars were shining. And I go out there and I just start babbling. Like, I'm like, oh, it's so pretty tonight, and because I'm just like, whatever. And then all of a sudden, I mean, I could throw up. I'm so excited just thinking about this. Then all of a sudden, he's kissing me. Right? Like we're kissing. And I've told this story before on Rach Talk, but in that moment, my brain is like screaming because I don't know what to do. And I'm so confused. And I'm like, wait, where do I put my hands? You just like get awkward and you're like Tyrannosaurus Rex and it's so crazy. And then I remember that I was like, wait, his hand, oh my gosh, his hand's on my butt. What is crazy? What do I do? And I'm just freaking out in my head. And all of a sudden he grabs my face and he says, baby, you don't have to talk. Which is the moment that I realize I have been saying everything that, what I just said that was in my head, all of that's come out of my mouth.
So while he was trying to kiss her, she was trying to talk? And she didn't notice until he pointed that out? Okay.
His hands are on my butt. Where do I put my hands? Where do I put my tongue? I'm saying those words. I'm so nervous. I am literally saying those words. You guys.
I think I just felt my soul leave my body.
But apparently I'm cute enough because, a year later, we're still kissing. So we got a big date tonight, which I'm pretty pumped about. And we're going to go to one of my favorite spots in Austin is this great, it's been there forever. It's called Perla's and it's on South Congress. Write it down if you are coming to town for a visit or if you live locally, you'll know what it is.
So I looked up Perla's and the cheapest sandwich is $23 and it is a flat top cheeseburger. There's a ditch on here. It's $135.
But it's this great place to like sit on the patio, and we got so blessed with this weather because it's going to be cold tomorrow, so I'm real excited. And did I arrange to shoot Rach Talk today so I would have cute hair and makeup for my date later? Yes, I did. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge my Texas tuxedo or my Canadian tuxedo, depending on where you're coming from. And more specifically, Jack, did you notice this pin collection? These are, some of them are from other places, but these are the collection of pins from Rise Conference over the years. And I have the original Rise ATX, which was like a button. We couldn't even afford an Hamilton. It's 2017, and it's all like rusted and old. So this is not like a build up to be like, we're announcing. No conferences on in the future currently. But I love this jacket, and I know there are other people who also have Hamiltons of like their history. So anyway, I just thought that I would write it today for you guys. That is what this is all about. What else is going on? All right, guys. So there is, I have the idea for a new segment here on Rach Talk. Or probably we've done this at some point. There's no way we haven't done this at some point. But a segment here on Rach Talk called Are You Old Enough? No, there's something about it. Let's call it a name. Are you old enough? But I don't mind it. Or maybe it's called If You Remember This, It's Time for a Night Zero. That's the title. If you remember this, it's time for a night zero. I would like to bring back a moment from my youth. I'm gonna find out the exact date. One moment. Does it ever trip out anyone else but me that everything is on the internet? Does that ever scare anybody but me that there's nothing I can't get an answer to? There's nothing that you could put in there that you wouldn't get an answer. I could make something up. How many years old is Zerber, the alien lord? I guarantee that answer is there. Okay, I got the answer to what I was looking for. So the year is 1999, which makes me 13, the ripe old age of 13. And the thing to do after school was to watch a little show called TRO. Now, I don't know what's happening on MTV. I don't even know if MTV still exists today. It must, but I don't know. I haven't watched cable television since like 2004. So it's 1999. And every single day, I would walk home from school, I would go into the kitchen, and I would make myself a snack. While in the den, I could see the TV that I turned on to watch MTV, to watch TRO. And today, you could open up your social media, kids, and get access to any celebrity, any singer, watch it all go down. But we didn't have that. We didn't have a way to see what was going on with our celebrities unless we wanted to watch entertainment news or MTV. So I wanted to see like the videos, because back then there were videos on music television. And I would watch videos, and there's the show called TRO, which women, men, my age, will remember. It was Carson Daly, and all the people line up and experiment. It was such a big deal. But it was a huge deal that videos would debut on TRO. And there was a show that I think was called Making of the Video. There was a making of the video for this song, which I remember as a 13-year-old girl thinking was such a naughty song and was going to get me in so much trouble with my parents ever caught me listening to it, which in retrospect is freaking hilarious. But I just am wondering if you're old enough to remember when the song was on TRL, when they did behind the video, and the first time you've ever heard a little Cisco, Jack. What if I made this all up? What if this is a fever dream? Hold on. Thong? No, that's not how you spell thong. Hold on, now I gotta watch it. Now I gotta know. Come on, what's happening? Oh, I'm not on the internet, guys. Rachel, where'd YouTube go? It looks like a triangle. It's a red triangle. Oh, wasn't my fault. One of my folders was flipped to the second page. That's not my fault. Okay.
The proud tradition of things not being Rachel's fault continues. But in all seriousness, so she could get her hair and makeup ready to go for filming, but she couldn't look up the things that she wanted to talk about beforehand. And she's paid to do this. Now, I do look up things while I'm filming, but I also cut out the part while I'm looking things out because I'm pretty sure just watching me search for things wouldn't really be that interesting. Granted, there's no one else here for me to talk to while I look something up, but Emily is so cute. Aww. The baby's hugging her tail. Maybe I'll just put the cats in front of the camera. That's a good idea. She's so cute.
We're back on it. Here we go. Ooh, remember when his hair was bleached, though? Okay, they're in the desert. There's a lot of buses pulling up in the desert. I'm not really sure why. I was like, if my parents come home and find me watching this while I'm eating my bologna sandwich, I want to see if the dragon is here. Isn't it funny, though, that, like, the thong is what I thought was naughty? Today, the songs are like, I can't even say because even a bleep, I feel like you could read my, and don't get me wrong, when I'm here by myself, you better believe there's some songs that come on. And when no one can hear me sing them, I know all the words. But 13-year-old Rach thought the idea of wearing underwear that didn't give you a panty line was dirty, in case you're wondering what kind of house I grew up in.
So I'm a terrible elder millennial because I didn't watch TRL or MTV when growing up. However, I do remember the thong song, and it didn't strike me as scandalous, but Rachel did mention that she was like in a conservative Christian household growing up, so I guess that would be the difference between our upbringings. Well, that and a whole bunch of other things, but...
Where's Ricky Martin? Where's he? What's he? If anything, side note, Ricky Martin is more beautiful today than he's ever been. He is aging gloriously. Okay, I'm sorry, Jack. Your mom found Ricky Martin's garage door opener in what town?
Beverly Hills.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Look, and now you just all found out that Jack is, what do they call it? One of those kids, trust fund baby. Why can't I remember anything today? You know what? Because I'm on my period. The blood's coming out of me and also taking all of my thought process with it.
Well, that was an abrupt change of subject.
I just did a podcast yesterday with a guest I've had on before, and we were talking about hormones and cycles and all the things and how important it is for us as women to normalize a conversation around our periods, to normalize having hormones, to normalize, like, it's this thing that exists for all of us and does our entire life, but it's wrong or dirty or shameful or whatever, and you're not supposed to talk about it. And honestly, Jack, you never had to do 3 videos in a row while you were bleeding out and cramping. Yeah, so that's what's happening to me, and it means that I'm not thinking as clearly as I want to be. Jack is not a trust fund baby. Salt of the earth. He really isn't. He wears the same shirt every day for like 6 years. He doesn't, yeah.
Apparently, this is because Rachel is on her period, but I'm pretty sure that if I watched another Rach Talk episode, the vibe would be the same. This is supposed to be just, free thought flowing and casual, loose, chatty vibe, just a girl talking to her friends. I'm sure her other videos where she's giving advice or interviews or whatever are more structured, but this is her attempt at being relatable in despite not wanting to be relatable. Of course, she does admit to having filmed that video in anger at the comments that she got on a live, so she's probably realized since then that relatability is kind of her bread and butter.
Now they're like driving down the Miami highways and like they're in a car that's on top convertible. Wow, Rachel, get it together. Do you think that this right here, Cisco thought this is forever? Cisco thought this is my life. I am Cisco, S-I-S-Q-O. I will be famous forever. I will be a hip hop star forever. I will have a speech there forever. Did he know that it would be a limited run, or do you think this is it for me? This is who I am now. I wonder this all the time about people, and I've told you my theory. I feel like I tell you my theory. All these people that we think are one-hit wonders, are they though? Are they one-hit wonders, or did they just make a crap ton of money about in a song about underwear, and then they were like, I'm good. I'm gonna go live in Milwaukee. I'm gonna be good for the rest of my life, and it's been nice knowing you. I don't know.
So let's see. Cisco's last solo album was released in 2015. He appeared in Legends of Tomorrow and Nick Cannon Presents Wild and Out in 2020. He was a supporting act in the Hammer's House Party Tour and R&B Fridays Live in 2019. And he co-wrote a book with Talisha Brown, Cisco's Perfect Christmas, in 2018. So he's still active, he just hasn't written any hit songs in a while.
I'll tell you what, I don't care how classy you think you are. If you are at like a family wedding and Thong Song comes on and you don't just go, Get out of here. Get out of my family wedding. Now let's get to the part where I think the dragon shows up. Yes, I didn't make this up. Yes, he's on it. Yep. Oh, maybe this is another dragon. Oh, okay, that song will be called Unleash the Dragon, which makes a lot of sense, to be honest. This song definitely doesn't slap as hard as Gong Song, but he does fight a dragon in this video, so winning. Okay, so every week on the show, we are celebrating a dream catcher. That's what we call it when someone in our Star Trek community reaches one of the goals that they've been writing down for weeks, for months, or sometimes years. Really, goals are achieved by real people just like you, who are focused and working hard and want to celebrate. Post your video, or send us your video, and tell us the story of your dream catcher moment, and then we're gonna do lots of cool stuff. Look what we got. Oh, it's a water bottle. It's our finished strong water bottle. Shout out. I guess I should like have these out and ready to go. Oh, you know what I want to tell you guys about? This is pretty cool. So, I think it's cool. I started doing these weekly podcast episodes that are 10 minutes or less. So that means 3 times a week right now, I have a podcast coming out because I'm just really focused on creating or trying to create the best content I can and just doing really well. And so I thought it would be awesome if there were things that were more bite-sized. You don't have time to listen or get into a whole episode, you just cross 7 minutes or 10 minutes. So the first 3 are up. The first 3 are up. They're happening every single week, and they're called a quick word. So it'll be like a quick word on friendship, a quick word on toxic people, a quick word on how to your goals. So check those out. They're airing every single Monday on the Hollis podcast. I feel like this dog's gonna be here. He just has to dress up too. So basically what I'm saying is I'm gonna do also the dog sports styles. When you show up next week, besides setting all this up, I'm gonna need you to have an outfit for Jeffrey. I don't need you to make outfits to match mine. I'll match my outfit with you. Okay? Great. Okay, great. I'm giving you measurements later. Okay, guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I hope that you like this episode. I hope it made you giggle or laugh or entertain you for a minute. If you dug it, please. And until I see you next week, remember, I love you, and I'm rooting for you.
So I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance because my final thoughts here are feeling a bit scattered. Possibly because what I just watched was a bit scattered. So, I first want to say that I don't think adults can never have fun or be silly or whatever. But what I just saw does not feel like an adult having a good time chatting with her friends, but like an adult trying to act like she's 15 again. And I don't think that's genuine. I mean, granted, I'm not really a follower of Rachel Hollis, so maybe that is her ordinary personality. But I just have doubts. And I think she might have realized since last year that relatability is kind of her bread and butter, whether she likes it or not. And also, she was grateful for the experience because it helped sever her emotional connection to social media. But she's in this video talking about her son's first heartbreak and telling her audience she loves them, which, if that's not trying to build a parasocial relationship, I don't know what is. And I don't know, it just all felt very fake to me. It read more like someone trying to rebuild their audience using, cheap appeals to emotion rather than someone actually enjoying what they're doing. Let me know in the comments, do you think Rachel Hollis is genuine? And more importantly, please let me know how cute you think my cats are. Anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, and I will see you next week. Bye! Is she gonna pounce? She went.